Hello everyone, this is Locomotive. Today we're gonna do a train set unboxing and review. Now the train set for today is a bit unusual. As you have seen in the thumbnail, it's not something that I would have usually get. However, I was in a hardware store not too recently, and guess what? I bought this in an actual store. So if it wasn't for the fact that I purchased this in an actual store, I would not even worry about this one. What does it say? Well, it says Jou, which probably stands for toys, Thomas the Train. Okay, so the price was $26.99 Canadian, so about $20 US or 18 pounds. With taxes and everything, it was a bit more expensive. So let me show you the box. This. So, yeah, we've got a train, a couple of cars. Some things just didn't feel quite right about it. Can still see that the price was actually $26.99, so this does not come from wish.com or something like this. It actually was bought in a real store. So, yeah, when you start to look at the logos, something seems to be odd. It doesn't say Thomas, it says Train Story. And then you start to look at the text. Become popular, the children's world. Now, English is not my first language, but I know that's not proper English. So it also says that whatever is inside may not be what is shown outside. So there's no brand that I was able to find other than Train Paradise, whatever this is. And believe it or not, we got some form of a model number, 3034. So if you look on the back of the box, we've got two trains on this. As per feature, it says that it has authentic puffing smoke. Well, we'll see about that. Realistic train sounds and light. Geez, I'm getting scared about this. And BO, battery operated. So, what does BO stands for? Battery operated? Well, it also stands for other stuff, as far as I'm aware of. So it's a battery operated train set. It says that you stick in for the track. The power switch is on top, and well, it says that you should pack down. I guess they're expecting some form of nuke to fall or something like that. And then complete, you can play. So once you're ready for the nuke, everything's packed down, you can start playing. So, well, let's start off by just that whole box. The thing is super light. So before everybody says anything, obviously, I mean, this looks like a knockoff of some sort. But how bad it is, well, we'll see. So let me just weigh the whole box. And if I tell you that I'm sure I got Locomotive that are heavier than this in 00 scale, I'm pretty sure I'm not too far off. So let's get that same scale that we use everywhere else. Let's put it on the floor. Put it on. So how much does the whole train set weigh? So, I'm not sure you can see this, but this says 696 grams. So, yeah, I do have 00 Locomotive, which are heavier than this. Mind you, they're large 00 Locomotive, but 696 grams for the whole train set, including packages, tracks, and that probably beautiful sound chip in there. That seems to be extremely light to me. Okay, so what's included in this? Well, we have a locomotive. That's a tank locomotive, by the way. And for some reason, they think a tender was appropriate. We've got a coach, and we've got a mineral wagon, and a couple of tracks. So, let's open it up. Okay. I don't think it's worth me going taking the time to go pick the scissors up. Okay, well, everything seems to be packed in styrofoam. Jeez, this is light. This is very, very light. So, here's what's in it. So again, we got one locomotive, one tender that's not appropriate if it's a tank engine, and one coach and one mineral wagons, and a couple of pieces of tracks. I just wonder if the area I've set up here is going to be large enough, because those tracks looks to be quite sizable. So let's take a look. Well, let's start by taking the track out of this set. As you see, there's a very high-tech way of everything being stuck together. So this is what the tracks are like. Let me just take one straight and one curve. So here's a straight. Here's a curve. Note that already I can see that even if you were to get multiple of those sets, the only thing you can do really is an oval or similar. You may be able to add more straight, but you can't connect them a certain way. You have to connect them only using those puzzle-like thing. How does this feel? It's actually pretty sturdy. Okay, let's put this on the side. Mind you, we've got quite a few thing here. Let's look at the mineral wagon. Okay, so mineral wagon. Boy, this thing is light. Doesn't weigh anything. Plastic wheels. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this, but they're like two halves which are stuck together. Reminds me a bit of the old triangle wheels that you had in the 70s. Other than that, as for coupling, well, you can only couple them a certain way, because looks like it's just a peg on one side and a loop on the other. Okay, so that's for the mineral wagon. I'm gonna weight all of this after. Okay, let's look at the coach. So here's the coach. Very similar to the mineral wagon, for the chassis anyway. Seems like it's attached just by clips, so no screws there, just clips. Obviously there's no interior detail or glazing or anything at all. And well, it doesn't look like any of the Thomas coach, either Annabelle or her sister. Oh, no doors. Okay, so I guess people are supposed to teleport inside of this. Okay, so let's take a look at the tender. Classic train. I really like the attention they had to details on the way that they put that sticker extremely straight. You know, this really feels like a model that you know, would be very, very in its place on a very serious modeler's dream layout. Oh, it seems like they're not exactly sure what's what, so I don't know if you can see this, but you've got like the coal bunker here, and it seems like they spilled coal all over the place. So, well, I'm not sure. Oh, there's a piece of foam. Not sure how that makes sense, but that's what it is, so we'll play with that. Quite a couple of details which are sculpted on it. You got a little ladder here. Things that might be lights, but you know, there's no pickup, there's nothing, and there's no battery on this, so I don't think there's any light in this. Again, there's only one way you can couple this up. This side having a peg and this side having a loop. So let me just put it on the side. And then, lastly, the almighty The almighty not Thomas the Tank Engine. Well, this one is a bit heavier than all the other one. Do you want to look at his face, or do you want to be able to sleep tonight? Well, it's actually not that bad. I was expecting much worse, although looks like it has, you know, scratches and splatters all over it. I don't know if you can see this, but unlike the wagon, for some reason, the locomotive is very, very, very filthy. There's a lot of dust on it. It's a bit greasy also. Again, this is a tank engine, so this is where the coal bunker here is. So I have no idea why a tender comes with it. This seems to be the power button. Oh, this feels cheap and nasty. Okay, let's look at the wheel. Oh, QC5, so I'm happy that somebody put a QC sticker. It means it's quality, right? Has quality control. Wouldn't bet on that too much. Okay, so the wheel. So this one's freewheeling, this one's freewheeling. This one is the only one that's connected to the motor. It does have traction tires. They are made out of a certain type of clear plastic, maybe rubbery a bit. And as you see, it has ridges, so I guess it's to help with tractions. Okay, so, oh, lamp here is a bit crooked. Let's pop it back in there. Well, I mean, the molding is not that bad on it. The paint is a bit unequal. I don't know if you can see that. And well, there's no whistle. There's no window where the Thomas tank engine usually has one. And this lens here is red. So for all I know, the light that's gonna come out of it will probably be red if there's a light in there. Okay, other than that, I guess this is where you put the battery. This should have a screw, I guess. No screw, don't care. That's one less thing to do. Yep, that's where the batteries needs to be inserted. So let me put some batteries in there. To be fair, it needs to run with batteries, so I'm gonna put batteries in there. I'm gonna weight it with the batteries. By itself, the weight is not too bad. Then I'm gonna weight all the other wagons to see how do they compare with N scale wagons. Just hold on a sec, I'm gonna go get batteries. Okay, so I got some batteries. Now from the look of it, this needs to go like this needs to go like that, and that needs to go like this, if that makes sense. Now let's see. Yeah, that seems to be okay. Okay, so, well, mind you, with the batteries, it sure had a lot of weight in it, so this should be half decent. Okay, let me zoom in this, and we'll weight all the wagons and the locomotive. Okay, so you see decently there. Okay, let's start off by the, I'm gonna say the one I think is the lightest one. That would be the mineral wagon. So this one's 31 gram. Mind you, I have double the wagons which are heavier than this. And some N-scale locomotive which are actually heavier than this. Just for fun, we're gonna compare it with one of these. If camera wants to cover it, there you go. So this is a Great Western N-scale wagon. I figured this is gonna be probably around 5 to 7 grams. Yeah, 6 grams. So when you look at it this way, the big mineral wagon right beside it right now is, I would say, about 5 times the weight of this. And this is a tiny wagon. So let's go with the coach now. So that's 39 grams. I'm not even sure I have coaches and double O scales which are lighter than this. Okay, let's go with the tender. It's in between, 36 grams. Anyway, I don't think that this is really meant to be a tender again. It's a tank engine, so there's no way in the world that they would be able to use the coal in there. So but, you know, if it makes them happy, they've included it. Okay, like I was saying with the battery, it actually gives something pretty decent, 216 grams. This is heavier than a lot of double O Locomotive, heavier than an 040. I mean, with the traction tires and the ridges on it, I do not think that this is gonna have any problem pulling anything. So yeah, that's nice. Let's go back to regular zoom level, and then I'll set the track up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the track has been set up. Oof, that is some nasty tracks. The original feeling I had was that they clip well together. Seems like they really don't clip well at all. In fact, you see I have 4 pieces of cardboard on my carpet here. I didn't have any problem with Kato tracks or Backman tracks or anything else. Actually, with the Backman tracks, you haven't seen that video yet, so perhaps I should not spoil it. Anyway, too late. So I had to actually, if you look closely, right here, you see that this is off-centered. Why? Well, because otherwise it would clip, then I would go somewhere else and unclip itself because the cardboard is slightly at a different height. Now, if you look at this one here, I'm completely unable to properly clip it. It keeps on clipping itself, so I'm gonna try to clip it again, and well, if it just doesn't work well, I mean, it's part of a sub $30 train set that's not Thomas. There you go. I click. We'll see if it's gonna stay like this. So, are we afraid of trying to put this on the track? Kind of, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, so I have 4 wagon. Let me first try with this one. There you go. Oh, these are the least freewheeling wagon I've ever seen. Yeah, they roll, but these are gonna create so much drag. Okay, next. I guess, I guess it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because of the way those pegs are made. So I gotta start with the Locomotive. So there you go, no, sorry. There you go, not Thomas. You're there first. Second one, the useless tender that the crew cannot access. There you go. Third one. And the coach at the very back. Now, how much you want to bet that this sound is going to be The exact same sound that comes from every single Chinese-made train in history. And also, it's gonna be very nasty. Oh well. I'm sorry in advance if any of this turns out to be true. Let's go. Let's push on the dome here and turn this on. Oh. Yeah. It doesn't work. Okay, let's see. Yep, it doesn't work. Okay, well, that's a nice start. Now let me see, what if I put all the batteries the other way around? We'll see what they'll do. Oh, that can't be right. No way in the world this is right. Oh well, it does not work. I was sort of half expecting this, you know? You know, I'll do something. I'll make this work. I'll try and fix it now, and I'll come back. Okay, welcome to the workshop, or the improvised workshop I made for this. So, let me just show you the little setup that I have here. This is a table that I have. In fact, if you've seen one of my first few videos, I was doing them directly on that table here. So underneath this, I have a regular cutting board. I decided to put one of these on top in case there's some nasty grease or something that is in there that I don't necessarily want to mess around with my table or my cutting board. So before I disassemble this, I want to show you this here. So what is this? This is a very nasty sound chip that you're gonna find in a lot of those Chinese loco. It comes with a piezo speakers and well, it's just a little tiny chip with a blob of epoxy on it. So we're gonna see if it's the same one that's in there. I've removed tons of these because nobody likes them. They're noisy and they're power hungry. So let's just see if this is what we have in here. So I'm gonna take some screwdrivers. Normally I would just take my my cradle for Locomotive, but I figured, you know what, my cradle's worth more than this cheap plastic thing. So, well, let's just start off by disassembling this, which are probably a couple of self-tapping screws. Oh jeez, these are tiny. Okay, well, let's try and not lose them too fast, because I know I'll lose them eventually. Okay, there's another one, super tiny screw. So what's oh, there's another one right here. I do not think that they could have used any smaller screw. Oh, okay. Okay, so we got an engine, a little motor in here. That's probably a reservoir for puffing smoke, or what they call puffing smoke. You can bet I'm gonna take this off, as with any heating element that's probably in there. which will probably just burn the whole thing down. Okay, let me just take the base keeper plate on the side. Jeez, these screws are all super tiny. And so far they're all the same model, so I'm not going to complain about it because it's going to be easier to reassemble. I do not have to sort them out. Yep, same model. And the one in the back. It does look like it has a can motor. Oh, okay, these are different. I'm not sure if you can see, but these heads are flat. All the other ones so far, or maybe it's just broken. Anyway, I'm not gonna mix it with the other ones just in case. Okay, well this one's pointy also, so I guess the other one was just a broken screw. Okay, so this can be taken off now. Oh, there's a lot of wire. Oh boy. Well, this is a mess. Okay, now everybody agrees this is a mess. So now that we all agree on this, let's move on. So, well, okay. Well, first of all, I just want to see that cheapy speaker and sound chip that I was telling you about. Looks like they just used the same one again, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same thing. So we're gonna rip this off because this can cause issues. It uses power, and on top of everything, I don't want it. Oh, and if you want to know how this was put there, hot glue. Okay, and that's the speaker that came with it. Out you go. The only thing I may be interested in keeping is the light. Everything else, I don't want it. Did I ever told you how challenging it is to have to do this with a camera between you and whatever you're doing? Okay, out you go. Okay, let's just use soldering iron on this. I'm just gonna go turn my thing on. I'll be back. Okay, it's on. Gotta wait for it to reach a certain temperature. In the meantime, let's see what are we dealing with. So we got tape here. Oh, these seems like quality. I did not pull on this tape. I just took it. Okay, it wasn't even glued in. So we've got an exposed contact right there. This out to go also. What else do we have here? Okay, let's take a look at the way they built this thing. Yes, can I remove this? Oh, there's two screws here. And let me guess, yep, same screw. So that one-off that I found was actually just a defective screw. Okay, so it seems like that heating element is just an exposed heating element right here. You want to bet that's going to go away. So when I'm going to be done with, and this is just a, yeah. I mean, I'm not 100% surprised. This was something that looked excessively cheap. In cheap, I don't mean that it was cheap to buy. I mean it was cheaply built. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's undo this here. Okay. Okay, what is still connected? Okay, green is for the light. I get it. So green, I want to keep it there because I said I was going to keep the light. Everything else has to go. So the white one has to go also. Well, I guess I don't have a choice. So I'll do this. Yeah, everything is just one blob on top. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so what's left? So, motor. Okay, so this needs to connect to this. What else do we have here? Okay, these, I could actually just connect the red one directly in here. This. Or I could just place them together. Well, let's start with a little test. just to see. If that would be just enough. Okay, so now I just connected the motor itself. Nothing else is connected. So we're gonna see if we can make this run. I'm gonna go get the batteries. Okay, so still nothing. Maybe I'm just not punching them far enough. Ah! Yoo-hoo! Okay. Well, now it works. Oof! Okay, so... if I don't lose the batteries, we may have a working train by the end of this video. And quite frankly, I gotta say, I'm disappointed that I couldn't make you listen to that horrible sound chip. I guess I can't call it a sound chip. I'm gonna call it a noise chip because, you know, that's pretty much what it is. Noise. Some random noise that they have. Okay, let me just turn on my soldering iron again. I'm just gonna solder the proper wire there. Then I'm gonna try to see if I can make the light work somehow. Now, let's just get rid of all that crap here. Oh, okay, that was easy. So this, out the door it go. Well, maybe not out the door, but out the train it go. Okay, so what about this here? So to all intent and purposes, this is the light. There's some hot glue in there, so I'm not going to be able to take a look to see if it's an LED or not. One thing I may be able to is just to see if I can make it work. Yep, it works. And it's red. So, do I want a red light in front of my train? I'm afraid I don't. So what's gonna happen? I'm just gonna put the light back where it belongs and not do anything with it. Okay, let me go grab my soldering iron. Okay, how to do this without destroying everything? Okay, step 1 success. Now step 2 is going to be the challenge. I'm going to need some more solder on that wire. It would be so much easier without that camera there. When you see somebody soldering something with a camera, I mean, these guys, no matter how ugly their soldering is, can tell you they've got skills, because I'm struggling to do one of the most basic soldering I've ever did in my life. But it's done. Okay. Yeah, it's done. That's enough. Okay, because I don't want anything to get electrocuted by this, I'm just going to put some tape here just to insulate this. I know, I just took some off, but nothing's going to be on this. It's not going to be powered. Besides, can't do a worse job than they did. Okay, so I'm gonna take both of these together. And again, this is just to insulate them. I'm not gonna power them or anything. It's just in case in the future I want to do something with this. Very, very, very low chance of this happening. What? I got tape, let's use it. And while I'm at it, might as well add an extra layer of tape here. Can't believe I'm saying this, but for realism reasons, so that when you look down the chimney you don't see a bunch of wires. Whatever that means. Yeah, looks good. Okay, well, looks. I can't say good, but it looks something. Okay. So, let's put this back together. Do I have to put this back? Do I need to put this back? I don't think I need to put this back. Then again, I think I just broke it. Oh well. Who cares? It's going to the garbage anyway. Okay. Now let's just make sure I don't pinch any wire. Yeah, it looks fine. There we go. Kind of look like something. Okay. How in the world is this supposed to stay in place without moving all over the place? You wanna bet that this is not gonna last? Yeah, it works, but just barely. I mean, no, I hope for this, guys. No, actually, no hopes at all for this. Oh, okay, I guess it's holding here. Okay, let's screw this back together and hopefully we'll be able to make this thing run. But before I screw everything back together, let's put the batteries inside again. Okay, everything's resoldered. Oh. That seems to work. Now let's put the chassis back, chassis back with the body. There you go. Geez, that was a lot of work. Okay, let's screw everything back. I'll see you once everything is assembled on the track. Okay, we're back at the track. I have the the engine here. Yeah, you can laugh. So let's see if we can make this work. Ready? I'm not, but here goes nothing. Okay, so if you can hear me on top of that whole conundrum, it's very noisy. It works, not without effort. I'm surprised how much the little motor in there seems to struggle. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I guess I should stop it. Okay, so what do I think about this train set? For around $30 with taxes here, you get a train with 3 car, 1 tank engine, a decent size oval, and that's it. In itself, it doesn't look that bad. But realistically speaking, this was not working out of the box. And I'm not surprised. It's not the first time that I see one of these things not working out of the box. Could be because of many reasons. That QC5 there, I don't believe it. And they just put it as part of the manufacturing process, I guess. It came off with a lamp broken. I had to snap it back in. So I mean, attention to detail, forget about it. This is a toy. This is in no way a model. And I knew it when I purchased it. Would I give this to a kid just for fun? Well, if you like the kid, and if they're young enough, yeah, sure. But I'd like to remind you, the horrible sound that you might not have heard on this is actually just the motor running. It does have a sound chip, and that sound chip, believe me, you don't want to hear it. Now, if you're curious what it is, let me know, and I have another train that works, and I know it works, that is equipped with that sound chip, and I may make a video about it. So, now about the fact that this is a knockoff, it's not officially licensed, it's not by Mattel, it's not, it's just not, it's not supposed to, it's not supposed to be sold in stores and everything. I don't know how the store managed to get this. I don't know if the store was even aware that this was knockoff and they just purchased it out of whatever was remaining of a container somewhere. I don't know any of that. But what I know is that really, when you're talking about toys, if they're not officially licensed, I would stay away from them. Not necessarily because you want to pay the premium and for all of that stuff. But the reason is that if they didn't take even the smallest step of buying a license, that means that this thing would be extremely badly made. It's meant to be cheap. It's normal. It's by design. So if you give this to a kid, they play around with it, maybe 5-6 times, and then they move on to something else, that's fine. As long as there's no lead in the paint or something like that, which I cannot guarantee. But for everybody else, stay away from this. I just feel like I just wasted about an hour and a half of my time. And on top of that, I have to do some editing because I have to remove all the swearing I did while trying to work on the thing without breaking it. So anyway, on that wannabe bombshell, or lack thereof, I hope everybody have a very good day. I'll see you in the next video. Leeway model